Good morning, Jamar, and good morning, America. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty good.
And we'll say greetings to everyone who's watching. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Like, share, and comment if you like the content that Jamar and I are bringing to you. And we're just going to dive right in. $38 million, I'm sorry, $38 trillion in debt, 23 days of lockdown with no end in sight. 750,000 workers are furloughed. Air Force controllers are forced to work without pay. National parks, federal officers, and museums are all like this. That sounds like a Christmas list, didn't it?
Yeah,
What are we going to do? What are we going to do, America?
this is America now.
Yeah, this is America. $38 trillion in debt, 23 days of lockdown. The longest, they say, the second longest in history, but it was 35 days on his first term that he did. Now, there is also um, no conversation about back pay for these employees.
With that much debt, we don't got it. We don't have it.
Yeah, that's a
And
lot
with
of debt. And we went into $38 trillion in debt. It climbed drastically high in August. So we're
mm,
in October, so I can only imagine.
I wonder what his presidential rating is. I wonder what people are saying about him.
I said that yesterday. I went live yesterday. It was difficult kind of without you, but I did it.
Okay.
So 40%, he went up 2%. He was at a 40% overall rating, and then now he's at 42%, holding
Mm.
steady.
It must be the immigration policy then, because I can't see any other reason why people would be his approval rating would be that high.
I know. And I was reading, I don't know if you've seen in the USA Today, the illegal immigrants that had kind of got caught up in the hustle and bustle of being incarcerated. They were speaking
Yeah.
of how they were being fed bad food, processed food, limited amount of food, and they were being mistreated in Louisiana.
Uh, oh, nobody's gonna care. We probably would, we'll probably care, but
Right.
that 42% is not going to care, right? They don't want them here anyway, so they don't care how they being treated.
Well, do you think that 42% cares about the East Wing being demolished? Because dang on it, I have never seen the White House. Um, period. I've never. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever had a tour of it?
I can't recall ever hearing about that type of major construction being done to the White House. I really can't recall that. I
So
don't
you've
know.
never seen it prior to this demolishment.
Right. I've never heard of, this type of construction being done to the White House.
$200 million worth of construction, and guess I have um a few names on the list who is sponsoring and have donated to the cause. I'm going to roll down the list. Apple, and I have an
Mm,
iPhone. I'm not happy about them. Amazon, Lockheed Martin. We pass them every night.
hmm
I am totally in shock. Okay, Microsoft, Google, Coinbase, Comcast, and Meta. That's just to name a few.
mm.
Comcast? Oh my God.
Why am I not surprised? Not surprised at all.
Oh my God.
Hey,
What do you think?
this is what we need to. People need to pay attention to this when we talk about our votes.
Right.
When we talk about your vote matters, we need to get out here and vote. We need to pay attention to who really matters. Where that money go? Follow the money. Those are the people who really matter.
I think a lot of Black Americans who fall in the pool of dating for the Republic. I'm sorry, did I say dating?
Yes.
Voting. Voting for the Republican Party. I think a lot of them kind of miss the overall picture. They
Hmm.
kind of just zoomed in on, oh, we're going to focus on a president that's going to get rid of, demolish gay rights, things of that nature. It's bigger than that. So if you
Hmm.
want to, take a small portion of it and just zoom in on you're being judgmental against the LBGTQ community, and now we have this mass suffering because you're angry or don't like the choice of someone's companionship.
Hmm.
I think that's the literacy of the Black American people who voted for this Republican Party. I don't know. They've
Yeah.
really made me mad.
Yeah. The rhetoric that I hear is this whole thing about the family dynamics, right? Influence on their children, um, the their money, their taxes. The immigrants are, taking jobs from Black Americans. That was, or and then you just have the ones who just feel like they're getting off the quote unquote Democratic plantation. They're waking up. Um, Neither one of those political parties historically
Right.
have done very much for the Black community. And that's
Right.
just reality. We can talk politics. I really don't talk. This is probably the most I've ever talked politics, because politics to me is really just a joke, especially when it comes to the Black community.
I agree.
Um, so those who voted for this, those who support this, we're gonna see how it all play out. It's in motion now. So we're gonna see how it plays out. We're gonna see uh, after the immigration policy and whatever attacks they're doing on the LGBTQ community, we'll see how it plays out for the Black community.
I heard a Black person say, "Oh, it's a good thing that they're sending the troops to, excuse me, to Memphis." And I'm like, seriously? Because
Mm,
once they send them to Memphis and send them to Portland and send them to California, do you not think they're going to send them to Atlanta?
right. The problem I have with Black people who speak like that, who talk
Right.
about the violence in the Black community, there are a multitude of grassroots organizations that are on the ground in these very cities, Chicago, Memphis, who work actively to
Hmm.
to try to do something about the violence in their communities, in their states, right?
Yes. Yes.
These organizations are so underfunded, right? The Black community does not come together. These very people who talk about send troops there, they do nothing to help these organizations that are on the ground trying to do something about the violence. They don't donate any money to them.
Right.
They don't know their names, don't know nothing about them. You always looking for the government to solve Black people problems.
Right.
So yes,
When it's our problem and
it's our
we,
problem. And we
yes.
have people, if all you have to do is do a little research, hey, you could send them $50 to
Yes.
donate to these grassroots group organizations who are fighting in the community to try to do something about the education, the gangs, the drugs, the violence. You don't do that. You're
No.
always looking for the government to send. This is how we get over police, because our own we support it, yeah. But what has that done,
It
right?
has gotten our young men killed, incarcerated. It has gotten us more discrimination.
Right. And
Yes.
that's what'll happen with the troops. So yeah, you celebrate now that troops are being sent somewhere against black bodies because they correlate crime and black people. So when them troops come in there, they're not gonna just stop at the gang members. The gang members gonna go in the house. It's gonna be regular citizens like you and I that's gonna be getting stopped by these troops and harassed by these troops that they're celebrating. But they don't see that. It's the same story with Black America over the years. The same story.
That's true. Woo. It gets heavy, and you're right. This is the most that I have also too talked about politics. I seem to have jumped on the bandwagon, and it seems like every day it's a soap opera because the more I pick up my newspaper or I Google the latest information on news, it's just politics, politics, politics. What's happening in politics?
Right.
And I'm like, I don't even really get to focus on what's going on in our city, things I would like to talk about as well. But what seems such big and fascinating are what's happening around the United States of America. Because even though we have issues that are right here at our door, we have that is such a massive issue that eventually is going to trickle down, and it's already affecting us.
Right.
Did you
Right.
know that there 25 states from California to Alabama told Politico they will pause SNAP benefits for the month of November, beginning November the 1st. So millions of low income American will lose access to their SNAP, their food aid, which is SNAP. California, Alabama, Arkansas, Hawaii, Indiana, Mississippi, and New Jersey. Other states have failed to respond to Politico. The federal government provides about $240 million a month alone for the state of Massachusetts. And the federal government last fiscal year, 2024, spent $100.3 billion in SNAP benefits.
Right. Listen, I don't care about people eating. Right?
Hey!
I pay taxes like other people pay taxes, and I don't get any return. So, and I don't mind people eating. I don't understand. All across the internet, you have, I stay within the black community. I don't really
Right.
listen to what the other side said, but right here in the black community,
Mhm.
you see people laughing, right? People who don't get SNAP benefits, oh yeah, they talk just like the other side. Oh
Right.
yeah, you EBT people, y'all won't be getting no, it's nothing funny about that.
Right.
We talking about children. When
Yes.
you talk about the family dynamics. No child can concentrate or have any type of growth if they're hungry. It
Hmm.
don't matter what you see. Yeah, you're gonna see some people who taking advantage of the system. A lot of people who work every day, who pay taxes, they finding a way to take advantage of the system too.
Oh, yeah.
You're just not getting caught.
Right.
Donald Trump took advantage of the system
Hmm.
a multitude of times. So,
Yes.
this thing, all of these people being hungry, it's gonna really be a problem. It's gonna be a big problem.
And with that being said, with the government providing $100.3 billion, and that was just for the fiscal year of 2024, and you having the absolute shutdown, people are absolutely going to start going in the store and taking food.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we're going to see an increase in looting, and that's going to put an increase in patrol. Then that's going to start where you're going to have curfews because people are going to be hungry.
Yeah,
People are hungry, they can't think straight. They can't make rational decisions. They don't care. Imagine
that's
somebody
true.
being hungry for 2, 3 days. And
That's true.
they see you and you coming out the store with a bag of groceries. Say, hey, give me that.
And that's the other side of that. Like, it's not just, it may start with them just going in the store and taking groceries, but then it may escalate to now, people being robbed,
Mm-hmm.
right? People, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And not only that, you give them an excuse once if they stealing from stores, then what do
Mm-hmm.
the store do? They raise the prices.
Yes.
So now you and we're going to be paying more for groceries.
Yes.
Um, and it's not always, you can't always keep looking at people who are struggling and saying, just get up and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's
Yes.
not always the case. Like, come on, let's stop pretending like everybody that's struggling, they're just lazy. They just, no, it has nothing to do with that. So,
Right.
and some people are, but majority of people, they want to work,
That's true.
right?
And I noticed too. I'm an independent contractor, so I do little gigs, right? So I noticed that there's an increase in door dashing for me to supplement my income and make extra. Well, now it's so many people using the app that you have to make an appointment to dash.
Wow.
It's like
Wow.
claim your spot. And these are the times it's like a little kid, it's a block. So
Mhm.
usually I could just turn the app on early mornings and do something or whatever, or right after the show. You have to go on and make an appointment and hold your spot to be able to dash. That's how many people are using the app to make money now.
Mm. I was out in DC over the summer,
Hmm.
and they DoorDash on mopeds,
Mm.
and like if you're at a certain time going through downtown Washington D.C.,
Hmm.
it's crazy to try to maneuver in a car because they're zipping through traffic on the mopeds. Like it's bananas. I never seen nothing like that before. Yeah,
Wow.
DoorDash is very popular. People, I mean, everybody's trying to get ahead and find another way to supplement their income.
Hmm.
And with those places like DoorDash or Lyft, as they like you said, they're getting congested now. Now
And
people not go ahead.
um and Spark for Walmart,
Okay.
they're looking for drivers to deliver their food. So,
Mm,
and which is going to be an increase in delivery jobs because eventually we're going to get back to the lockdowns. If they're introducing and sliding one by one, state by state, these troops, they're going to be everywhere. And they're going to be curfew. So that's going to be like the way you're going to be able to get your food, your items through.
mm,
Yes. So I just had to share that. If you're a DoorDasher and you're gold or silver, you're having to make an appointment to go to work.
mm.
Yeah, that's well, and thank God I'm not in a situation where like I just gotta have the money, like I just need it right now, because I would probably be like, oh, I want to work and I can't.
Right. Right. And that's a lot of people. If you
Yes.
can't, you don't have the proper clothes to go to an interview,
Hmm.
right? So, it's a lot of circumstances that keep people from work. So, we're going somewhere. And going back to his 42%
Hmm.
approval rating,
Mm.
we need to pay attention to that. 42% of those polled believe he's doing a good. They're okay with what he's doing.
And that's, I was hoping to see something like 30%.
Right.
But 42%, he was at a 40 and he went up 2%. I'm like, whoa,
Wow.
that's
That's a lot of people who are okay with where this country is headed.
right. And that's scary.
Right. And you have to ask yourself why. Why are you so happy with that? Because you want to see those who are already broken be totally broken. You like seeing those suffer.
Mm. I was listening to a video of a former MAGA supporter. She was a Caucasian lady, and she briefly spoke about she was a Mormon and she was into church, and the church taught her to hate people like, us and lesbians, and it wasn't until one day she was out working a job. She had to get a job, and she met these two lesbian ladies who were very nice. And she said that she couldn't imagine just hating them, but she was taught to hate them because she was told that they were of the devil. They were, bad people. And she said she knew then that she didn't want her children to feel that way. And when I listened to her, I just didn't realize that so many of white America felt the need to judge people. And I've been living in a tunnel this whole time.
Mm,
Yeah. And I just, because I see people, I don't see color. But
mm,
now, as we talk about these topics, I'm looking at people like, oh my God,
mm.
all this time I've been like, oh, and I kind of feel a certain type of way about myself because I kind of just turn my head, but it's real. And all the time I'm looking at them with my heart, they're looking at me with their eyes. And it just makes me see people and look at people differently now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Going back to something I had said maybe earlier this week, I said that a lot of us believe that the racist white people are the minority, and that the good, good Europeans, Caucasians are the majority.
Hmm.
It's the opposite. It's the opposite.
Hmm.
The racist Caucasians are the majority. They are the majority. It's the minority are the good Caucasians who really, they really don't see color. They see people. If that wasn't the case, a lot of these uh a lot of us black people who they have this thing where they say there's black people and then there's niggas, right? They right? But if
Yes.
you black and you feel that way, why? Because you know you being judged by the color of your skin.
Hmm.
We black people in America is not we're not walking, they do not see Jamar first. No, they see the color of my skin first.
A black man. Yes.
Right? And I am one of them until I prove otherwise. Until I can show them that no, I'm one of the good ones. And that's how they look at all of us. Until you show that you're one of the good ones, and then you're accepted as one of the good ones.
Mm,
And that's just the reality.
yeah. That is our reality. Our reality now is just, it's like somebody has just thrown us a plate of food that was uncooked and said, eat it. There you go.
Yeah,
And we're just it's here, it's real, and it's raw.
it's right. Yeah,
Racism is raw, in
it
your
always has.
face,
Yep,
blatantly in your face. Deal with it.
blatant.
Yes,
It's here, and they're very comfortable with it.
very.
They're very comfortable now with just flat out, and I'm okay with that. I prefer that. I need to know
I need to
exactly
see
who you are. Yeah, I need to know who you are.
right.
I want you to come on out, and express exactly how you feel. Like, the old days when they'll let you know, look, your people, your kind is not welcome around here.
Ah,
They wasn't putting no shade on it. I'm okay with that. I like to see exactly where you coming from. So I'm okay with knowing that 42% of America or more.
it's okay with what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, how do you feel about the White House being demolished in that capacity?
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. It's not even, the money that's going to it. Uh, and that don't even really matter. That money never trickles down to me,
Right.
But I don't care about the White House. I don't care what he does with the White House. Like I said, I really just really never was into politics, so I'm more black community focused.
Hmm.
If I would much rather the black community take, like I say all the time, take this opportunity for us to come together and
Hmm.
say, okay, how can we improve? Um, what realistic ideas do we have to fix our community, to start building ourselves up so that we can be prepared for what's coming down? That's where I'll be at. I'm not trying to save America.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Just the black community, just waking up
That's
our
it.
brothers and sisters.
That's it. Because over the years, when you think about it, the black community has fought so hard to fix America at the detriment of our own community. We fight so hard for America. Our community is the one suffering,
That's true.
but we're always fighting for America. We're always talking about the Constitution and civil rights of everybody. And then what they do is they hijack everything we do. So we fight for civil rights. Who gets the civil rights? Who really benefits from it? Everybody but us.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not into saving America. We can't. America's not broken. America is operating exactly how they founded it to operate.
At 42%.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, at 42%. So I want to tell you this. So Trump canceled his anticipated meeting with President Putin, stating that he didn't feel right about meeting with him. And that resulted in oil rising nearly 5% on yesterday. Well, today, after the U.S. imposed a sanction on major Russian suppliers. So now oil is gone up.
Yeah, everything he does is. We have the most incompetent president in the history of the presidency. He's Tony. This man was never supposed to be a president.
No,
Never. He absolutely does not know what he's doing. I
at
thought
all.
Putin. I thought Putin was his man.
No, he, you know, Trump is very flaky. Um, I'm a sky watcher, so I kind of look into people's personalities based off of astrology. And so it dawned on me the other day, and I'm kind of jumping around here, when they say no kings, well, President Trump is a Leo rising. Gemini sun. I'm not sure what his moon is, but I just know this from just briefly looking at his chart. And Leo is the king. It's the representation of the king in the zodiac sign because it's ruled by the sun.
Mm.
So in his mind, and Vance has the same zodiac. They're both Leo. Um, Trump is a Leo ascendant, and Vance is a Leo sun. So they have that kingmanship mentality. Number one ruler. That's just in their genetic makeup. But what makes Trump so uncertain and untrustworthy is the fact that he's a Gemini and he's of the twins. It's two people. So that makes him very indecisive, more of a cunning way, jokester, can't be taken serious. I wouldn't trust him with the ink pen.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds about right. Because he
right.
can't. He definitely can't be trusted. He'll say anything.
Anything. And Gemini is a mercurial sign. It's ruled by Mercury. So his mind is working faster than his mouth. So it doesn't give a chance to think before it filters out. So he just say anything. He hasn't had a chance to channel that inner child and be able to just be like, I need healing. So he's narcissistic. So, and that rubs off on to other people. Very cunning, person, so he's able to charm others. Gemini is charming, it's communicative, it's talkative. So you don't even have to know much. You can just say a few things and impress a few people and get people to laugh, and you just slide your way on through. And it
Mm,
has worked in all of his business deal, and he's treating America not like a country, but like a business.
mm.
Let me just tear it all up, and
Right,
maybe I can rebuild it.
right. That's what his supporters say. He was this great businessman, but he really wasn't.
Right.
He wasn't. But he was able to
Manipulative,
convince some.
cunning, yeah, witty.
Yeah,
And if you walk in a business meeting and someone is saying to you, "Oh," well, I'm a woman, so if I say you in a business meeting, you come in and you're all dressed up in your suit, and I'm flattering you. "Oh, I like your beard. Oh, you're so handsome. Oh, I love your glasses." And if you're kind of not so sure about yourself, that's just gonna go over your head. You're gonna be like,
right,
"Oh, she's complimenting me. Oh, I look good." And so that's for those weak-minded people who are not sure of themselves. Not saying that you're not handsome. I'm just saying, but
right.
not for the people that who are not sure of themselves. And that's with anybody in the world. People who don't know who they are will fall for anything.
Hmm.
So when you don't know who you are, I can sell you anything. I can tell you that antique car with no transmission is a great car. All you need is four tires, and all you
Hmm.
got to do is put a fuse in there, and it'll get going for you.
Yeah,
And then when you get the car, you're like, "Darn it, Stony! I put the four tires on there, and the fuse, and this damn thing don't even have a transmission." "Oh, I thought I told you that. It's a great car. All you need is a transmission."
right. Yeah. And then what else? And then the other thing about it is, and now you made a good point. Confidence, right? That's the number one thing a salesman has is confidence,
Yeah.
even if they're lying to you. And that's what he was able to do. Based off of his confidence level, he was just able to tell people, "Look, you put me in office, I could end the war in Ukraine 7 days flat. I'm gonna sit down with Putin." But he said it so confidently that
Mhm.
people actually believed it. Yeah,
Yes.
you put me in office. Look, no problem. I'm gonna wipe out the debt in this country. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And like you just said, for weak-minded individuals,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It sounded the
Sounds so
unconfident,
good.
right?
Sounds
The
like honey.
unconfident,
Sounds
yeah,
like honey coming off
yeah.
off his lips. Yes.
The other thing is the brashness,
Hmm.
right? He said things that people wanted to hear, what they want to say.
Right.
That's why they're so confident saying it now. The things that he was saying. Hey,
Hmm.
hey, but it was nothing but a con because he's a con man.
Con man.
And
Yes.
he just conned them into believing it. And now some of them are so locked in. You have some, they're just locked in, right? Their
Hmm.
their pride won't let them admit they made a mistake. Then
Well,
you
you
have
know who's admitting that they have made a huge mistake?
who's that?
Our farmers.
Ah, yeah. Well,
Yeah. And I
yeah, a
feel
lot of
bad
them
for
are.
them. Yeah.
Huh?
I feel really bad for them because, that's where a lot of our agriculture and our food come from. And last year they sold $12 billion in soybeans, right? To
Mhm.
China. Well, when Trump was reelected, China was like, "Mm-mm, we're not getting soybeans from America anymore." So what did Trump do? He started funding Argentina, giving them $20 billion. And
Mhm.
now they are providing soybeans to China. And our farmers are sitting here with all this crop and no one to sell it to.
Right. Well, I would like to feel sorry for them. I would like to call them our farmers.
Yeah,
But when it was time to cast their vote,
right,
they wasn't our farmers.
right.
right? They were you get what I'm saying?
I
Like
get what you're saying.
I've seen their videos, I've seen them, but you had a chance.
Right.
You had an opportunity to help yourself,
Hmm.
to be part of something bigger than you. And you chose to put this con artist in office. You made that decision and now it's hurting you. A lot of people did that. A lot of people voted against their best interests.
Mm. Because they didn't have confidence in their self and the democracy.
Now
And
they didn't want a
so,
black woman as a president.
right.
They did let's be they did not want to see a black woman as she was way more presidential
Hmm.
than Donald Trump throughout that whole campaign.
Yes. I
She had
do agree with that. I agree with that.
yeah.
She got my
I,
vote.
yeah, I won't give them an excuse. Right?
Right.
They've been using that excuse about oh man, the other leaders of the world would have ate her up. Your
Right.
leader couldn't your leader couldn't eat her up. She destroyed him in that debate.
Uh-huh.
If it was any question about her, she destroyed him in a debate. So, poor
Wow.
farmers, they're gonna be okay.
They gonna be okay.
Yeah, the farmers gonna be okay. They'll be all right, they'll make it.
Well, I sure hope so because when I hear their stories about how they feel like Vance wants to come in after their land is up for sale and take their land and take their legacy, it's really hard in how they've come up with this whole scenario of a plot of the government to take their land from them.
Mm,
And I'm like, whoa, I didn't think of it like that. Like, because there are no more bailouts. The banks don't want to help them. Um, and then they have all this crop in which they could have sold to, keep things going. And they kind of like, they were dependent on China to continue to trade with them.
right.
So,
Yeah, I've seen some black farmers talking about, they might lose their land. I do feel bad for them,
yeah.
land, but it's some black farmers right here in Georgia who have been having issues with uh where they live,
Uh-huh.
how where they live at have been trying to steal their land and take their land. I do feel bad for them. But those who made a decision to cast a vote for Donald Trump, you reap what you sow, and they're farmers, so they should know that.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow. So yeah, it's bad. It's gonna
Yes.
get worse.
It definitely is. I don't know if you heard about the boat that was blown up in the Pacific overnight. The two
No.
boats. Okay, so Gustavo Petro and President Donald Trump traded angry threats Wednesday as the United States announced strikes on two alleged drug smuggling boats in the Pacific Ocean, leaving five people dead, three of them being Americans, I do believe.
Mm.
Yes. And Trump stated Petro is a thug and suggested he was a drug trafficker, leading his country to ruin. These are Trump's words. And Petro vowed to defend himself legally with an American attorney. He
Wow.
said he gonna lawyer up with one of our attorneys.
Yeah.
So now we're blowing up boats, giving away money in Argentina. Um, Russia is angry with us, and oil prices has gone up 5%. Um, $38 trillion in debt. 750,000 government workers on furlough. No SNAP benefits for at least 25 states in the United States of America. What else?
And 42% of the people approve.
And 42% of the people in America approve of this
That.
behavior.
So let me ask you, what the boats that got blew up? It was five Americans. So was
No,
it
no, it was five people, three of them being American on board.
Okay, three Americans were on board. They were drug traffickers too.
When I read the
Nobody
article,
knows. No,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Everybody, every boat they've blown up, they've said that they're drug traffickers.
yeah,
Let me ask you a question. Like,
yes,
okay, if you blew up a boat out there,
uh-huh. What you gonna
where they
do in?
what they do? Where the drugs going? Like, where they trafficking them to?
I don't know.
That
They
don't make
got me
sense.
scared to get on a cruise. They might think that the Carnival Cruise is a
That don't. That's not making sense to me. We got a lot of. America has always had a lot of drugs in it. What's making you target all the way over there?
I don't know. When I
And we
say
know,
you're just asking for stuff, you're in the Pacific Ocean,
and
not the Atlantic.
we know you wanna change the government over there.
Leave those people alone.
He wanna change the government. You calling that man a thug? He a thug too.
Right.
It sound like two, back in the day when we was out there, moving around. It sound like two blocks beefing, if you ask me.
Sound
Two,
like
two,
it.
two
Oh
thugs beefing
yeah.
with, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Two
this my
drug
block.
blocks. Yeah,
Yeah, what
two
you doing
drug
on my
blocks is
block?
beefing with each other. Yeah, the south side and the north side beefing.
Yeah.
That's what it sound like to me.
Let me find out.
Yeah,
Let me find out. Man, I was gonna tell you something about yesterday. I had said something that kind of slipped my mind. Maybe it'll because usually I try to have everything written down because I get caught up in the conversation. But it'll come back. It'll come back to
yeah.
me.
Get back. We got a little age on us. It happens to me too.
I know,
You
and
see our pause.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
It's the night thing too. What we got going on, so it's just we all
yeah.
laugh. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot going on with this man. Every day it's something. You never know what you're gonna get. From the troops now being able to go into Oregon. A lot is going on in Oregon. Let me tell you what else is happening in Oregon. You know what? Hold on. Let me say first what's going on in Oregon. In Portland, the Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups charged an illegal poker operation tied to the mafia. Like, whoa. Like, what are we doing?
They gambling.
Yeah, but with the mafia?
Oh, you going? I mean, they always the mafia always been in the gambling racket. So if you get big enough, I'm quite sure they're gonna want a cut of it.
So he retired in 2014. And so Billups played for the Detroit Pistons.
Mm.
And he's, of course, now the coach up in Portland. So, but they are charging him. So with
Somebody
gambling.
else was charged. Somebody else got charged recently for gambling.
Yeah, I think his name was it was another player, Terry
Yes,
some I can't think of
somebody
the name.
else. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember the name offhand.
Yeah. So that's going on there. And Diddy, I read some things I wasn't really sure, but it's alleged that Trump denied his commutation of sentencing.
Mm.
And during that process, it is alleged that he also was a knife. Well, what we would call they call it a knife, we call it a shank,
Hmm.
was put to him in prison. Um, so I don't know, about all of that and how true that was or what he thought was going to happen.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. So
So they
did he not
uh
getting out? He not getting out.
he'll do it. He's gonna do his little bit of time he gotta do.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
you
Maybe
surprised?
John, maybe well, the president has a few years. He still got 3 years, so maybe he'll let him do a little time and then double back and get him out. But he's busy freeing all of his people that he want out.
So yesterday I had reported Christopher Monahan, who is 35 years old, was one of the was one of the January Sixers rioters. He threatened Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, right?
Hmm.
And so he was arrested for terroristic threats. I believe it was Tuesday. apologize. It's always somebody calling in the middle of the program. I still haven't figured that out yet. But anyway, so yeah, Christopher Monahan was arrested for terroristic threats. And in the report, it was saying that a lot of the January, the rioters, a lot of them have been rearrested for crimes in their own neighborhood.
I've seen it. Yeah, a lot of them have.
Right.
I mean, I would a substantial amount of them.
Because they feel entitled to be able to.
That's what,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. It's the entitlement. It's
Right.
the entitlement. Yes, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
in his statement, he was like, pretty much, if let me see if I can find what I had said on yesterday. Um, I don't know what I did with it, but it's okay. This is what Monahan said. I cannot allow this terrorist to live, and he was talking about Hakeem Jeffries. One message even stated, "I if even if I am hated, he must be eliminated." And yeah, that's what he was saying. He was gonna kill him.
So what? So Hakeem Jeffries is a terrorist in their
That's
mind.
yeah, in his mind, yeah, he's a bad guy.
See, that's that, and that's what I know. That's that rhetoric that comes from Donald Trump. This is the enemy within.
Right.
The enemy within. You putting targets on people's back who are just really just doing their job, right? They're just nobody on either side, Democrat or Republican, have done a bang up job with managing America.
No, no. But
They
if I
all
had
have
to
their
play
own.
devil advocate, I would definitely take I said yesterday, MABA, make America blue again.
Uh,
I know.
I don't know. Either way, blue, red, um, it has to be a balance.
Right.
You know,
It's no balance though.
there's no
There's
balance. It has to be some type of balance. You can't just um I don't even know what the Democratic Party stands for. I don't.
I don't either, but I just know that a lot of African Americans felt that who were opposing the LGBTQ community felt as if that was a reason to vote red, as
Mm,
opposed to looking at the democracy of this nation and overall picture of what you were going to get versus blue versus red. I would just take my chances with the blue. Even though
mm,
I stand for equality and I stand for, um, I am a believer, but I'm not a Christian.
mm,
I stand for a myriad of things. And if there is a healthy balance, I just don't feel like I'm getting that from the Republican Party.
right.
So I wouldn't, if I had to go to lesser evils, it would have been MABA, Make America.
I don't and I don't know what the Republican Party stands for. I
They
know,
stand for hate. They stand just for what they're demonstrating.
yeah,
Hate,
it looks that way.
yes. It's all about the money for us. We don't care about if you're eating. We don't care, and we want the immigrants gone. That's what they stand for. That's what they want. They don't want anyone
Sure.
here. Then once they get the immigrants gone, they're gonna want the um, Americans gone too. Black Americans gone too.
Yeah, I keep hearing this ideology about values and family and basically Christ, but I don't see it in the living. Right? I hear them talk about it, but I don't see it. Like I don't see you carrying yourself as a Christian. I don't understand how you have a party where you don't want people to tell you how to live, right? You don't want people to tell you how to live, but you constantly are telling other people how to live, right? You constantly telling people how you're living is not right. But if
Right.
I'm not breaking any laws, if I'm not causing anybody any harm, then what am I doing wrong? You're telling me what a family is supposed to look like. A man, a woman, and a child. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you think a family's supposed to look like.
That's yeah.
I believe a family is people who support you. And
And
a
love
lot of
you.
us will say, hey, I've met friends that hold me down better than my own blood.
Right.
So what is a family? So none of that political stuff. It seems like that the politics is to divide America, period.
Yeah. Us
To keep
versus them.
people division. It's why
Yeah.
everybody else gets rich.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Well, it looks like the Republican Party is not they're placing their agenda on the table, and the Democratic Party is not accepting the terms for the which is the healthcare, which is the
Hmm.
main thing, which is the healthcare. A lot of people I have read are willing to go now without health insurance. Now, what is that going to do for the American people? And then with them changing the Medicare and the Medicaid bill, which was funding the hospitals, that was their way of having the right to be able to treat you if you do not have insurance. You know how when you go to the hospital and they have you
Hmm.
sign on that little pad, if you don't have insurance, we cannot refuse you?
Hmm.
Well, that was because the government was and is currently funding that hospital with Medicaid, Medicare, but with such big major cuts on the big beautiful bill, that is going to eliminate if you get shot or if you get ran over by a truck, God forbid, I'm just saying not you, but anyone, then you would not, they can refuse you. They can say no.
Mm.
But this is what you voted for. 42% of Americans who are okay with what's going on in America. What's next?
That's almost inhumane, right?
Yes. So
That's
imagine
inhumane.
you being hurt, your leg, your toe, and you do not have insurance. Before this big, beautiful bill, they couldn't refuse you
Hmm.
because they were receiving funding.
Mm. Well, I mean, and insurance, that and hospital bills are expensive. It's just, and people need insurance. I just don't understand why we haven't reached a point in America where we do not have universal health care. Where
Well,
people, that is ridiculous when you have countries like Canada, uh, Asia, China. These places have universal health care. I think the right there in Africa,
mhm,
it's hard for me to pronounce his name, but the general in Africa,
mhm.
he just announced universal health care for his country.
Wow, that's
For
beautiful.
Musa Barrasso,
I know what you're talking about, but I
right,
can't pronounce his name either.
right.
But yes,
He's just introduced uh health care for his nation. Like here
wow.
in America, why don't we have universal health care?
We're supposed to be the land of the home, the free, and the home of the brave. However, we're the land of the oppressed, hungry, restricted, and we feel it's almost like a third world country at this point because of all of the oppression that we're receiving from our nation's capital.
Yeah. Well, we've been going down this road for a minute now.
Well, we're at the end of the road. It don't
We
even
ain't
seem
at
like
the
it's a
end yet.
U-turn.
We got some
Before we
more.
was just on the middle of the interstate and
Yeah.
stuck in traffic. Now we at the end of the road.
Well, we not even a year in. We're
No.
not a year in with this regime, so we still got 3 years left. But I love my people. I love black people because look at us. We just out here, we line dancing. We still have a lot of black joy.
Yes.
Black joy should be studied because while America is burning, Black America out here living. We doing what we do.
Yes.
And we're going to continue to do that. You know, the rest of the country could take a lesson from us, but they never do. That's why we here. They
Yes.
hard headed. They don't like to listen.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
definitely agree. Well, great topics today. I thank you, so much. It's always a pleasure getting your insight on things. Take a deep breath, and everybody,
Yeah.
I don't know what's next, America. I just know that we're here, and we just have to live our lives in fulfillment and not follow the antichrist because they're Christ-like, and yeah,
Ooh, the Antichrist.
yeah, because
Man.
the agenda of Christ-like, no, is anti-Christ.
Mm,
So
you
that's what we're
can't
doing.
tell them that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if we will be on tomorrow. If not, I'll see you Monday.
Okay.
I'll let you know. It's hairdo time, and
Okay. Okay. Gotta get, yeah. Hey,
yes, how us girls, we gotta keep ourselves together. But
not mad.
I'm gonna see if I can, even if maybe we come on for 30 minutes or so, just to stay the consistency. But we'll definitely, I'll let you know. But I want to say thank you so much, and everybody. See you the next time, and until the next time, drink your water and mind your business. Stony and Jamar, we'll see you soon. Bye bye.
See you. All right.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye.